Today's video is called Ghost Town Treasure. This was sent in years and years ago, back in 1970, in a May issue of an old Treasure World magazine. I found the article was rather interesting and decided to share it. This couple went to a town called Delamar, Nevada, an old ghost town that was a mining camp at one time, a real rich camp which produced millions of dollars over a short period of years. There's a rumor of $70,000 in high-graded gold ore buried by two crooked employees of one of the mining companies. For some reason, the one that buried and hid the money passed away, and so this loot, convertible to cash, is still out there somewhere in the town of Delamar. So anyway, this couple, they found out how to get there, and they drove to Delamar. Through the last 12 miles were real rough, with high rocks in the road, uh, risky for your oil pan and other fragile, more delicate features of your vehicle that if they go down, you're going to be hurting. And so they got there to the town. There was no one there. A lot of ruins, old foundations of buildings that are no longer actually there, just traces of where they once were. A little bit of the history of Delamar is these prospectors, John and Alvin Ferguson from Hyco, Nevada. Their mine was the richest one there, called the Monkey Wrench Mine. And they found an old monkey wrench in some wash, and they used that to knock off rich ore samples from an outcropping on their freshly discovered claim. Anyway, along came John Delamar in 1893, a prominent mining man of his day who purchased the major claims for $150,000, and so the town became Delamar. And from 1893 to 1900, Delamar was the biggest gold producer in Nevada. 100 to 200,000 in bullion were shipped every month. Well, basically, people died working these mines, and what they found out after the fact was healthy young men were dying within 6 months at these mines, and they had floating in the air this fine particle, a dust known as silicosis, and it damaged and destroyed the lungs. Basically, by breathing it in long enough, your condition became fatal. Well, anyway, they had a shortage of water at this site. They ended up hauling it in wagons at 50 cents a barrel. There was a Nesbitt spring 12 miles away. That's where they got that water from. Later on, they put a pipe system in to bring the water, but by then it was too late. So anyway, this couple got there. They started poking around. Ironically, they had metal detectors in their cars. That was another one of these. It was strange how the story actually began. My wife and I drove to the ghost town of Delamar, Nevada, only to look around. We came back with a find that would be good, a find that would be good in any treasure hunter's book, just to look around. But they actually had the metal detector in the car. So anyway, I thought that was kind of a little bit of humor here. To me, that's pretty obvious what their intentions would be going there. I know there's quite a few people that would be their intention. So anyway, they hunted around, and finally at one place they've seen some buildings, two of them up on a hill, with no luck throughout the town. His wife Kathy suggested they check these two up on the hill, and they detected the insides of these two. the dirt floors to see if there was anything hidden there, and there wasn't. They did some hunting around the outside, and at the corner of one of the buildings, they got a good signal, and they dug down, and they got a fair size tin can with a lid, and they husband thought it was junk, and he was going to throw it, but it rattled. So he pried off the lid, and there were $5 silver inside this. So anyway, we have a picture of this can and the silver dollars, and well, they tarnished the silver dollars, and I think they would in the ground like that. All it needs is a little air. So anyway, that's the story for us here. Uh, Delamar, I don't know if it's protected today or not. Definitely for a ghost hunter, that would be one place to go see. Apparently, if you go, uh, only bring back photos. That would probably be the best thing to please the most people. You go poking around with a shovel, metal detector. I'm sure somebody will have an opinion on what they think of that. But to go to these places and enjoy the history, the beautiful photos, there's probably nothing wrong with that, as long as you have permission to go up in there. And so, next time I'll bring you another interesting story from the past. Have a good day.